It wasn't the most brilliant of pre-seasons, to be fair, but the goal here was to have just a relatively easy game so I could get the morale up to those lovely green arrows we all love to see in our players. We started a bit shaky, especially because the pitch was still with the default setting, so it was quite long. But when I was able to change it to a 90 per 55 meters wide, that will link up to our main tactic. And after two defeats with teams that are arguably better than ours, we got on track and finished preseason on good spirits. There is a big concern with the goals conceded, of course, but as long as we keep scoring more than our opponents, I think I'll be happy. I know I'll be happy, really. As I said before, I created the goalkeepers with 20 years old and all the field players with 16, which means that we've got a very promising squad, I would say, with already good values. It's not the most balanced squad, as you can see. There's no all the center midfielders that really prefer to play as defensive midfielders. Wingers are lacking. The striker position is a bit shaky as well, which led to me setting up this tactic. So it's a 4-4-2, but without any center midfielders really. We've got two defensive midfielders, one that will be a proper, the I call it proper, is he will be more defensive minded than the right sided one. So basically the left defensive midfielder is a well winning midfielder in defense, and the right defensive midfielder will be playing as a deep lying playmaker. The tactic is attacking, as you can see, with the instructions being direct passing, clear ball to flanks, higher defensive line with the offside trap, and closing down much more. So basically it's a 4-4-2 that will pressure high up the pitch in order to quickly get into the opposition's goal and, score goals. This will be the tactic that I will be using most throughout this season and the first seasons, I think. We also have this one for more defensive types of games we might have, which I don't think I will ever use this tactic this season. I'm not sure, but I don't think so. So basically, we keep the two defensive midfielders and another center midfielder instead of the striker, which drops the ball. This center midfielder will be a box-to-box midfielder, so we still have more presence in the box. The wingers go high the pitch, but they go so the target man doesn't get too lonely, let's say. But have a bit of a support role, whilst in here, even though they are a bit further down, they have more offensive mind. So that's about it for the tactics, and yeah. And finally, for the moment you all been waiting, the players. I'm gonna be showing you every single player that we've got over here, and I will be showing you in order of the position I intend to use them, at least in the beginning, if they show that they're better. As you can see, there's a lot of versatile players, so if they show that they are better on some other position, I might be changing them. But for now, I'll introduce them in the order I intend to play them. So as goalkeepers, first we've got James Toddy. Oh, and by the way, white are attributes between 1 and 4, red 5 and 9, yellow 10, 14, and green. Here we go. With James Toddy. His name is James Todd. I'll show you. It's just the nickname is Toddy. There you go. So green is 15 to 20, and he's got an 18 jumping reach. James Todd, or Toddy, Toddy. He was the goalkeeper that was mostly used during preseason, but as you can see, I don't like those numbers. He's going to start for now, but he needs some clean sheets in the beginning, because if not, Jason Tustain over here is ready to come in. He also wasn't brilliant. He conceded 7 goals coming off the bench, but at least he didn't concede in 5 of those games, so I don't... It's gonna be tricky. I think Todd is just more consistent, I guess. Decisions and positioning are good, reflexes, handling, come out of the area. The jumping reach is very interesting, but Jason has other attributes that are quite alright, and the jumping reach is not that bad, and physically is even better. We'll see. I'm gonna start with Toddy for now, but right backs. For right back, at least starting as a right back, it will be Mark Cook or Cookie. Good crossing, excellent crossing, I would say even. Work rate, teamwork. He's probably going to be the starter at the right back position. The other option I've got for right back is Jack Davies, but he's much more offensive minded. Look at this, marking 2, and the stamina is just non-existent. While as Mark Cookie or Mark Cook, good tackling, the crossing is okay. Is good, sorry. What is okay is the passing, I meant. Marking, but with this stamina he can at least go up and down and not get tired as easily as Jack. Jack would be a good option for right winger as well, but I have better options over there, I must say. Left backs is where we're most lacking, really. Mike Large will be my first option, and it's the other way around here. I'm gonna use much more offensive-minded left back than right to get him corners and free kicks. So he's a dead ball specialist, but not the biggest. That will be coming later on. Defensively, he's not great. Stamina is not brilliant as well. He's got a great balance. I think he's more the fact he's left-footed and being a good player that makes him the best option, because the other one, which is Ben Lewis, is just too defensive. Yeah, with Mark Cookie on the other side, I think I'm probably gonna go with Large, even though he's not a great defender. And Ben Lewis is a good defender, but if I have both Ben Lewis and Mark Cookie as the fullbacks, I mean, I'm just dependent on the wingers to create danger, and we do clear the ball to flank, so I need them to at least be an option if need be. So that's why Mike Large over Ben Lewis. Yeah, that will probably be how I'll do it. Centre backs. First, the captain, Robert Bradford. I mean, Robbie, look at you. 15 heading, 13 tackling, 15 jumping reach, 14 strength. Marking will improve for sure. I just need that determination to go up, because the captain, 15 leadership makes him the captain. He's gonna be a rock in our centre back position. With the company, I was in doubt between Martin Garden and Paul Franklin, but Frankers gets the nod because of Martin's injury. See, where Rob lacks, Paul appears. He's a marking man, also not determined at all. That's gonna be an issue, I feel. My centre backs are not determined. That's why we concede a lot of goals, probably. Again, Martin Garden, which was the other option until he got injured. Great positioning, great heading, great jumping reach, determination, non-existent. Fourth option and the all-around defender, really. Our Frank Shaw, our assistant manager, feels he's better as a left back. I'm not sure why. I feel he's a good centre back as well. Not determined. This is troubling. Good marker. A bit of a. I feel that it will be Rob ahead of Martin and Paul ahead of Garrett. I think that's how my center backs are gonna work. So Rob and Paul Franklin starting center backs, Martin and Garrett Smith looking for a chance. Being that Gaz can play anywhere in the defense, so our firefighter he will be. Defensive midfielders, I've got to start with Tom Peters. Dead ball specialist, great technically, although his technique is not the best, but problems. There is a lot. Physically, non-existent, he's so small. I don't know. Where he's bad, he's really bad. No dribbling, no marking, no tackling, no work rate. That is the big issue with the composure, I feel. Composure and work rate are gonna make him worse than he could have been, because mentally he's already very interesting, except work rate and composure, which are actually keys for the role he's gonna play. And physically, no stamina, no speed. I mean, get him a chair and he'll work his magic. Actually, perfect example of how unlimited substitutions would allow more players to play the game. If we'd have unlimited substitutions, I would never play him. I would just, oh, there's a corner. Tom, come in. Free kick. Tom, stay in there. Wait, make a foul. Out. I mean, with the 3 substitution thing though, he's gonna play. And we're gonna have to work these mentals and the physicals, but he's just a superstar. And to protect him, I've got here Joe T. Davies. Joe Davies, which physical side of the game makes him the perfect bodyguard to Tom Peters. Look, strength, okay, very interesting. Acceleration, agility, jumping reach, natural fitness, pace, all above 10. I mean, a physical monster, a ball-winning midfielder if there ever was one. Great work rate, good teamwork that needs improving, but still okay, better than most of his teammates. Great determination, finally, and aggression. And the tackling is also good. The perfect ball-winning midfielder at 16, I feel. Very little he can improve. And Joe T. Davies and Tom Peters will be decisive for our success, for sure. Craig Smith will be the reserve to Joe Davies. Very similar player, but physically is not there yet, and tackling is not great as well. Mentally very good. I love the teamwork and the bravery, aggression, all at 15. Great first touch, which makes him maybe a candidate to deep lying playmaker role as well, if he improves his passing. Because again, Tom Peters won't last long with that physical, so with those physicals, we'll see. Fourth option for the defensive midfielder role, Danny Deek. He can also be a deep lying playmaker option, actually probably more than Craig Smith with 14 passing, but again, composure non-existent, decisions non-existent. Great vision though, spectacular vision that I'm certainly gonna be useful in certain moments of the season. One thing I didn't mention on the tactics though is wingers. They're how do you say it? They swap positions. They swap. Oh, okay. They're supposed to. I'm glad I'm here then to fix this. Right. So yeah, the wingers swap positions. There's no right. Of course, players prefer to play either on the right or left side, but to me they're just wingers on both sides. So Droshke will be one of the starting wingers. Frank Shaw doesn't know what he's saying. He thinks everybody's all left back. There we go. Good dribbling, good acceleration, good pace and stamina. The passing is very interesting as well. Just the first touch lets him down, but he was important and quality even. During preseason with 3 goals and 4 assists, and he gets the nod for sure. Finishing 1 and 2, a lot of ones, but I mean, dribbling, acceleration, pace, and the crossing is 7 is very interesting, so he should be alright. Rob Light will be on the other side, similar type of player. Good dribbling, good crossing, pacey, acceleration, work rate. So 2 very similar players. He scored 5 goals in preseason. He also plays. Reserve wingers will be Greg, more on the right side. As you can see, great passing, and it's his best attribute really. So he could also be a center midfielder. But as a natural midfielder, much like Garrett Smith in defender, he'll be more of a firefighter and play in any position we need him to. Simon Hall is the other option. He's injured with thigh strain, so it doesn't count for now. But the better of a cross of all our wingers, still very pacey, and everything is going up in him, which is very, not all of them are, but Simon is clearly. I guess it's being injured, I don't get it, but hey, good to see some arrows actually happening. Finally, strikers. Actually, no. So, striking position, we've got first Jordan K, aka The Flash, 13 finishing, 13 acceleration, 13 composure. Off the ball is still in the red, but it will be soon coming up. 7 goals and 3 assists in preseason. Best player of preseason, I would say. Flash will be the goal scoring machine of our team. We'll definitely play alongside Andrew Shepard in the beginning, although probably when Robin gets back he will play, I think. Shep is a 180 meters tall player with 18 heading and 13 jumping reach, so he can get to any ball. That was probably how he got these 3 goals and 5 assists in the preseason. But all the rest is very, very low. There's only 2, 3 attributes over 7. Although for the target man role, heading, decisions, jumping reach and aggression, they're all there. But if I show you Robin, the heading is not so good and the jumping reach is not so good. Yes. But he's a better overall player, I think. And much taller, which I think might be a difference. Anyway, since he got injured, he didn't really play in preseason, so Shep will be starting. Simon Pritchard, he can play in both wings, but I will use him as a poacher if needs be. Finishing, first touch and composure are very interesting. The off the ball, but he can do a job for us. He scored 2 goals in preseason coming off the bench all the time, and they all have potential, they all have quality. As I said, we are the favorites from the bookies to win the league even, I think. Yeah, I mean, not only that, if we don't win the league, it will be dramatic, I would say, for the bookies at least, and for me as well. I think that the board demands a win on the league. Competitions. Yeah, promotion by winning the league and reach the final of the Hellenic League Challenge Cup. Okay, so it will be a nerve-wracking season, I would say. I have to win things. The players are all very young, and not very determined, as we could see. So that might be a problem if you go down on games, and it already showed with conceding that amount of goals. Right, so I'm about to go to the game against Eddington Amateurs. I will be back with you after the Shinor game to do the August month report to see what happened in these 4 games. Until then, this is Phil Guy. Good night and have a pint.